Hello again, welcome to the Mystery Steamboat channel. If you're subscribed already, a big thumbs up to you. If you're not, there's a little subscribe button somewhere, there's a little bell for notifications. This is the next part of my Ask Me a Question. If you still want to ask me a question, put something in the comments down below. For those people who I have answered the question today, if you check in the description of the YouTube clip, there will be a link to their particular YouTube channel, so do feel free to check them out and see what they're up to in life and maybe subscribe to their channels. So on with the questions. On with the next question. This one is from the Disney Vacation Family. New follower here. Why did you choose the name Mystery Steamboat for your channel? That one I've answered a couple of times. I think that was answered in part 3. Which explained why the Mystery Steamboat, kind of why I'm doing internet blogging. Do check that one, the answer's all there, but thanks for your question anyway. If you want to ask me another question, just comment along the bottom, but thanks for the question. I do appreciate all these questions. The next question is quite a long one. It's from the Disney Dragon. It said, okay, here goes. Have you heard about the disability issues surrounding the Marvel event at Disneyland Paris and other issues around support cards and disability support in general? In a nutshell, I've heard a few little things on the internet about the whole what happened with the Marvel thing in Paris. I wasn't there for that, and we only go once a year, and we aren't going this year. We're going to Florida instead. We sort of see similar things last year when we was in the Disney studios. They had some sort of thing with the stormtroopers on the stage, and it was kind of a bit of a free-for-all. So because I was in a wheelchair that we borrowed from Disneyland Paris, didn't really get to see much. But that's how life goes, isn't it? At the end of the day, just because you're in a wheelchair or you're in a scooter, doesn't mean to say you should get I'm at the front, everybody out my way, everybody queues like everyone else. And yes, it's nice when you get help, and sometimes you need help, because some of the rides, you can't go on some of the rides certain ways because you've got to go up and down stairs, like in Disneyland Paris, Star Tours. I'm doing this from memory because obviously when we first went to Disney years ago, I was walking a lot better. So I think that at some points you do have to go up some stairs. But if you can't do stairs, I can't remember what exit you go down. Basically, you go down an exit somewhere, and it takes you sort of past the stairs, and you go sort of down a little bit, and then around the corner, then there's a lift, and that lift then takes you upstairs, then to when you then join the queue to get on the actual ride. And then when you come out of the ride, again, you follow it down, there's some stairs, but again, just around the corner, there's another lift which takes you back down to the gift shop. So as I see disability assistance, it's not really to queue jump or anything like that, it's to what can you do, Disney, to help me enjoy the experience. And from the ride's point of view, what can you do to help me? And some of those would be like you're going through the exit to get to it, so you can leave your scooter or your wheelchair at the exit. Some rides you can actually get on the ride with a scooter or a wheelchair. I've not tried the scooter on rides yet. We've only bought the scooter last December, so I've not had a holiday yet with it. So there's going to be the challenge this year. We're going to Florida with the scooter. We can take it with us. We can split into 5 pieces, so we can load it into a car a bit easier. It'd be interesting to see how I get on with that, really. So personally, I think what Disney do for disabled people is good. They try and help as best they can. So I personally have no issues with Disney and what they do. In terms of the American disability card, or the DS card, whatever that's called, again, we haven't been there for 4 years, so I know that has changed. But again, I think the reality is with that one this year is that I don't know how many rides I'm going to do, to be perfectly honest. I can't step into a Pirates of the Caribbean boat, because to me, if I was to step into a boat, or even, is it the Navi River Journey one, to step in a boat, I'm probably going to fall, and crash into the boat. So I'm not going to have that embarrassment. I have seen there are transfer devices, and I've seen a couple of pictures online, which seem to be almost like a plank of wood but you've still got to get from, you know, your scooter or your wheelchair down onto that, then it kind of steps down a little bit to get into there, which that's kind of doable because I'll go boom, 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 and I'm in the boat. But then to get out, that's the tricky bit. So yeah, and then as you know, when you do these rides, they kind of like load you on and off really, really quick. So I think that's a bit of additional pressure for me to be on. So yeah, we shall see, we shall see. How does MS affect your trips to the Disney parks? It's when I first had it, it wasn't too bad. I was walking around. The last trip to Paris was more tricky because we arrived on a very, very hot day, and the hotter I get, the worse it gets because my arms get a bit more weaker, so it's harder to sort of hold a camera, hence why I've got a GoPro this time. If I'm in a wheelchair being pushed, you know, I'm just being pushed, you know. My wife feels it more than me because she gets, oh, my hands are aching, or I need to sit down. No, I say to her, you know, whenever you want to sit, you sit. I'm in a chair all the time, you sit. As long as I can at some point just stretch my legs, not to move my legs, I had to stretch for a bit, I'm happy with that. And it'd be the same with the scooter. At least the scooter would give me a little bit more independence going around the parks, rather than when we go in the shop and I say to me, right, over there, over there, over there, over there, you missed a bit, over there. At least now I can drive around the, you know, the shops, you know, and see what I want to see. Not that I don't get to see what I want to see anyway, but you know what I mean. You know, I can sort of, you know, go and, yeah, because I kind of head straight for the pins. First, where's the pins? And you go for the pins first, then I go thereafter and see what's in the shop. What support have you accessed, and is a Disney holiday easier than any other holiday when you live in MS? Well, I think I can simply answer that is Disney are good. They make it a lot easier, and it's not just Disney. I think it's Florida as a whole. I've been to other places over the course where my MS was a lot better than it is now. But certainly, like, I don't go to London. We only live just down the road from London. I don't really go to London because that's like, it's a tricky thing. To get on the train, you need a ramp to get on the train, then you also need a ramp at the other end. That's not a great problem if you let the railway people know you're coming. Even if you turn up on the day, they can arrange that and then they radio in the other end and it's all sorted. But once you're in the City of London, that's when the fun starts, because I can't get on a bus, because you can't get a scooter on a bus, or not that I'm aware of. You can't get a scooter on the underground. There may be, and do correct me if I'm wrong, there may be certain stations which may have a lift, but I've never researched that because I've still got to get onto the train, and certainly from the bank station it's mind the gap because there's a big gap. So if there's a gap on the station, I'm not going to get on that train, then you've wasted all that time getting down there to find out you can't get on the underground train because of the gap. And then worst case scenario, in the event of a fire or some other, you know, catastrophe, I'm stuck down there. That's it, game over. So we don't do that. So if we do go around London, and only go to London if we do a hospital trip, then we use taxis, which is expensive. You know, a taxi from Fenchurch Street to Holborn, which isn't too far. It's about a 20-25 minute journey at push, depending on traffic. That's like £20. So it's you know, it's money. So and that's why when we do Disneyland Paris, we don't really go into Paris as well, because again, because it's an old city, it was built years and years ago. It wasn't built with disabled in mind. You know, again, there are certain stations I've heard which have got lifts, but then also hear that sometimes the lifts aren't working. So it's like, okay, let's just stick to what we know, and we stick to Disney. From a Florida point of view, say, you know, once you do Disney, we're in Disney. I think Disney cater quite well from getting you on their transportation. If you are on the buses, they do kind of load the disabled people on first, so that you're on, and then you're kind of strapped in. You know, they have these big straps that come across the bottom, strap you right in with your party. You're on first. Obviously you're last off, but it's not a problem. You know, the important thing is we're actually on and we're safely on the bus. And the same with the watercraft. I think, I can't remember if they load you on first or last, but again they have a special area normally at the end, at the back of the boat, which, you know, it's nice, it gets you on there. This again is the first year I'll be going to Florida with my scooter, so I shall have some new experiences of that. I've not done the monorail for a long while. Last time I'd done the monorail was probably way back in 2001. So I said to my wife, you know, although we are staying, we're only staying for a few nights on Disney, but we're staying at the Yacht and Beach Club. And I said, like, although, you know, we can get the watercraft to Disney Studios, we can get the watercraft to Epcot, or to a point, say, walk to Epcot, I would drive it, my wife would walk it. To get to Magic Kingdom, they have got the minivan service, which looks quite cute, but is it really worth the money, or is it just for the photo opportunity to have a picture of the minivan? I don't know. But to get to Magic Kingdom is the bus. But I said to my wife, well, you've never been on the monorail, so we could get on the monorail and do the monorail back. I said, at the very least, do the monorail around the loop that takes in the Contemporary Resort and the Grand Floridian and the Polynesian. I said, because that's quite a nice little thing anyway, and it's quite exciting on the monorail, I think, anyway. And then we can potentially just hop off at a different hotel and just check out that hotel, and more importantly, check out their gift shop, because we love a gift shop. And then from there you can get to the transport and ticket centre, and then change there for the Epcot monorail, and we can do that. Animal Kingdom, you know, we've got to use the bus, but I've got no problem with buses. And the Disney drivers are our experience of the Disney drivers is they're very courteous. They look after you, you know, they make sure you're in, and they look after you. So again, I can't fault Disney. My experience of Disney is that they look after disabled people. So yes, is it any easier than any other holiday? Yes, because see, I'd like to go to New York, but the reality is, would I do it? I don't know, unless I do a lot of research as to how I could, you know, survive in New York on a scooter. I don't know. I'd like to go back to Las Vegas. Las Vegas, I think, is probably more disabled friendly because it's basically just one big casino. It's casino, casino, casino. And between the casinos, there's shops. So that to me is more doable, and it'd be great to go back to there, and then I get to see hopefully Penn and Teller or even David Copperfield there. So that's on our bucket list to go back there. My wife's never been there. I've been there many years ago, only for 2 nights, but it'd be nice to go back there, and then obviously take in California Disney as well. My opinion may change when we do Florida as to how helpful Disney is. From what I've been reading on it, that a lot of the queues are inside anyway, so that's why they don't give out the disabled card as much. But some of the queues are in the cool, so if you're saying, oh, I'm heat intolerant, well, you can't use that as an excuse because you're inside in the cool, you know. Character interactions, I think a lot of those in Florida are inside as well, from memory. I say from memory, I'm looking on the little app, you know, what's where. You know, certainly the me Olaf and the me Kylo Ren and Chewbacca, they're inside. So yeah, you just queue like everyone else. You know, I don't see why we shouldn't queue. Just because I'm sitting down or being pushed if I was in a wheelchair, I don't see, you know, why I should be given some preferential treatment over someone else. You know, we did get that in Paris either last year or year before, that, and it's nice, but it's you do feel a bit cheeky because it's like everybody's queuing up to meet, say, Donald Duck, and there's a big queue, and then we come up and we sort of, you know, essentially say we're disabled because they can see it, and sometimes we just expect like a little badge saying you come back at this time slot, which is fair enough. That's the equivalent of standing in the queue, so you normally come back in half hour's time, which is nice. We'll then go away somewhere in the shade or in a shop just to cool down or just sit and wait, you know. But sometimes they say just wait there, you'll be up in 2 or 3 families' time. Then you think, I feel really cheeky now because there's a big queue of like, you know, 30, 50 people there, and I'm going to be seeing Mickey or Donald, whatever, in like 2 minutes' time. So I feel really, you know, I feel not embarrassed, but embarrassed because it's like, you're all queuing up there and I've kind of gone straight in. But I suppose that's Disney being nice for people, isn't it? So it's, you know, we've not done Disney Paris in the summer holidays, so that could be a completely different experience because obviously there are more families going there, and I'm aware from some of the news groups I'm on Facebook that there are lots of families with children who have got disabilities, so that could be a whole new different kettle of fish. When we do Disney, we go out of, you know, school time or during school time, out of term time. When the kids are on holiday, that's when we don't go. We go when they're at school, just because it suits us, and we tend to go midweek as well. Avoid the weekends, because weekends can go woof in terms of attendance as well. So we try and avoid bits. So this year's Disney is going to be interesting. So it's only over, say, a couple of nights there. It kind of does us because we get a Disney fix, we get to see some stuff, we get to try some of our Disney food, and more importantly, we do the Disney shops. How much can we do? We're like, if you're British, you know, it's like Dell's supermarket sweep. How much can we get in our trolley in like 1 minute 30 seconds? You know, and we load it up. But that's what we love about Disney, is the shops more than anything else, because we love bringing stuff home. This year we're doing those. Is it the Magic Moment pass where you hold that and you get your little Tinkerbell in there, or your balloon thing and all that? We've done that this year. We've had to pay for that, obviously, because we're not. I think if you're there for a certain amount of time, they chuck it in free, but we're not. So we said, well, no, we'll pay for it, because they do look quite fun little pictures. So yeah, we're hoping to get some of those little pictures there. But in terms of the rest of Florida, because obviously we're spending a lot of our time on the coast, and we're staying in, for want of a better word, we're staying in our parents' villa. They've got a villa out in Florida, so we're staying there. So there's different things there that we like doing. So obviously, the shops, we do love our shops, and that'll be Publix, which is basically a supermarket, but I'll be vlogging in Publix. If you've never been in Publix, wow, they have lots and lots of ice cream and lots of cake and lots of M&Ms. And yeah, I'll be vlogging in Walmart. We do like Walmart as well, because that's like an equivalent of Asda if you're UK people and not been in Walmart, but just a lot bigger and better. They're huge, and they're Walmarts. Target, there is in the Sarasota area what they call a super Target, huge. Again, it's got food and then other bits for like clothing and toys for kids and whatnot. And sometimes they are good to go in, because you can find Disney things which are not officially Disney, but sometimes they're just as good, if not better sometimes, but at a lot cheaper price. The other place to look in for Disney stuff, which I'm not sure there's any in the Orlando area, check it if there is. There certainly is in the Sarasota area. Is a shop called Books A Million. So it's basically a bookshop, and they do cheaper books. I think they might have sort of similar price books, but they have cheaper books in there. But they will have other stuff in there, little knickknacks, and there will be Disney stuff in there. Well, last time I was there, they had Disney stuff in there. They have lots of magazines in there, so that's a good shop to go in. Same as we go into Barnes and Noble, which is a bookshop. They have obviously the newer books. If you time it right, they have all the calendars. So when you go from a UK point of view, you go to the Calendar Club shop in England. Borders will have, Barnes and Noble have a lot more calendars in there to choose from if you want a nice calendar. And again, they have little sort of things that I think last time we said they had lots of Doctor Who stuff, and I can't remember what's just in there. But Spencer Gifts, we love Spencer Gifts, so I love Spencer Gifts because again they have lots of. Well, last time I was there, again 4 years, it might have changed. Check on their website; they probably tell you what's on their website, what they sell. But they have lots of like superhero type things, and T-shirts like this. They have belt buckles, and yeah, there's another shop. I forget the name of it now, because when we go to the Sarasota shopping mall, it's just round the corner from it, and it's a similar thing to Spencer Gifts. If you're not, I can't think of the name of it. So if you go onto the Sarasota Mall in Florida, look at their map, and then you might see it there. If you see where the food court is, and Spencer Gifts is sort of there at the food court, you go there, turn that way, Costco's up that end, turn that way, and it's about 2 shops down, and there's a shop there. Look at that shop, see what their website is, because they do lots of stuff. It's where last time I went there I bought some Doctor Who gloves, like the fingerless gloves. They seem to do a lot of Nightmare Before Christmas stuff in there. Looking at it this year, they seem to have Walking Dead stuff in there, so that could be why I want to go there, because I do like the Walking Dead stuff. I can't think of the name of that shop. Do check it out, because I'm sure whatever that is, it must be a chain. They may be one of those in the Orlando area, and it might be in the Florida Mall. It might be one of the other malls, the Mall of Millennium, is it, or I don't know, but it's just worth checking it out as well. And of course, when we're in the Sarasota area, there's other stuff to do there which people don't appreciate. What other stuff is in Florida that isn't Disney? we in the Sarasota area, there's a few crazy golf courses, and last time we did one, when I was walking a bit better, we were the only people on it. So it's like we've got the whole course to ourselves, which is kind of cool. We're doing this year the Sarasota Jungle Gardens, which is, you could almost say like Little Bush Gardens, but it's not in the same league, but it's different, but in some ways arguably better, because there's going to be shows with parrots and stuff like that, and from what I've seen on their website or on their Facebook, you have the potential to have your picture holding a parrot. A parrot could be on your arm, it might be on your shoulder, hopefully. I could be a Long John Silver. You can hold snakes and have a picture of snakes. And again, if it's still there, because on their website or their Facebook it was there, they have flamingos there. You can hand feed flamingos. That you can't do that in Disney. You can't do that in Bush that I'm aware of. Hand feed a flamingo, you know. If you want to do that, I don't know, because they've got big beaks. I'm like, ooh, it's scary, but yeah, that's going to be exciting. I'm trying to think what else is up there. In the Bradenton area, there's a place called the Sarasota. It's the South Florida Museum. So that's quite cool. It's a not bad little museum. It's a nice little day out. It's or even half a day out. There's some nice little food areas there. I'm just going to do a big thumbs up there, because I might tag him into it. If you love astronomy, you must go there, because they've got the Bishop Planetarium. They've had a recent renovation. I kind of know this because I'm chatting to Howard. He sort of, I say runs, from want of a better word, he runs the planetarium. He might be slapped in the wrist because he doesn't, but in my head he runs it. And he's really a really nice guy. If you ever get popped down and there's a guy called Howard, really nice guy. Really nice planetarium. Last time I was there, it's a really nice planetarium. Just, you just see it all there, and they put on a few shows, and at the end of it there's like a question and answer. So if you've got a question about anything in the sky, Howard knows everything about astronomy. So a big thumbs up to you, Howard. Hopefully we'll be seeing you this year if you watch this video. I might link it on Facebook when I upload this one. So yeah, big thumbs up for the Florida and South Florida Museum. But also up that way, we go past there because we fly into Tampa. So you go across the Sunshine Skyway Bridge. So if you've seen my introduction video, there's a picture of that bridge, and it's like way up there and way down there, and ooh, it's scary. But we will go back that way, because obviously Busch Gardens is that way. But we can continue going that. We've not been up that way apart from Busch Gardens. But potential on our list this year is, and I know there's one in Orlando as well. But if you sort of go up that way and then go down, I think it's I can't remember the name of it. It's the Coastal Road. So you get to see all the coast, and it's a coastal drive, and anywhere in America is quite a cool thing anyway, to see the coast. And we certainly do that when we go down Sarasota. You can go down the interstate road, but we tend to do the, I can't remember the name of the road is, but it's basically the coastal road, so you get to go over more bridges and see all the water, and it's really cool. Then you can stop off and you can walk to a beach, because all the parking, from memory, I think is free, so you just stop up and walk down the beach and have a little look. And some of the beaches along that part, I don't know about the other side of America, but certainly the Gulf Coast, some of those beaches are like deserted. It's just like you are on your own on the beach, and there might be like, well, there's someone like way down there, and you've got a whole, it's just, not like Southend Seafront, we all crammed in, or Brighton crammed in, just nice. But yeah, so we're going to potentially go up towards Tampa, and Hulk Hogan has got a shop up there. So do I like wrestling? Sort of, but yes, I do. So he does do every now and then. He will do a signing session, and he does them at that shop, and he does them at his Orlando shop. But there are X amount of money to do that, and you do get a picture of him anyway. But also they're quite late at night, and I don't really want to be out late at night if I can help it. But I said to my wife, well, I'd like to still do his shop, because I might end up buying something, Hulkamania fired, or I don't know, but there. But then on the way back from there, we found a small aquarium. So well, that's quite cool, because some of the aquariums, like they're quite good. We did 2014. I'm trying to remember when we did it now. Is it 14? 14 or 12. We done 2 holidays. I think it was the 14 year. I think. But anyway, it was the Florida Aquarium. So again, a lot smaller than SeaWorld. But what's in there is quite cool, and and if they still do it, so do check out their website. They do a meet and greet with penguins, so it's quite a small group of you, literally about 10 in the group, and then you go outside the aquarium, a little short walk into another little room, which is where some of the penguins are, and then you actually get to stroke a penguin, and they take pictures with the penguin, and you could the professional takes a picture, which you can then buy, or they will take your camera and take some pictures, and then someone talks all about the penguins, and they don't go in a little pool, and you can stroke them, and it's just a really cool thing. I know, say, SeaWorld do things like that, but there are other ways to do these things that are not in Orlando. It's just sometimes you need to sort of see what else is out there, and that's why we kind of like doing the coast. It's a slower pace. We get to see more sort of real America, doing things that we love doing the most, which is shop, and sometimes it's quite good as well, because when we was there in 2014, we came out of a Winn-Dixie. I don't even know Winn-Dixies are in the Orlando area, but again, it's another food. I think it's just food, but it's like a Publix, like a Sainsbury's or Tesco's. And we came out and we were just talking, me and my wife, and then this woman come up and I think we made her day, because I don't think she'd ever spoken to anyone from England before, because although it's touristy, I don't know how many Brits go to the Sarasota area. So, for some reason the Brits kind of go to Clearwater more, I think, and up that way. But yeah, and Anne-Marie Island is on that little stretch. It's like they're not like the Florida Keys. There's lots of little keys along there. So you've got Anne-Marie Island is there. You've got Bradenton Beach. Then it goes down to St Armand Circle, which, from my knowledge, is the only place in Florida or even in America that's got a roundabout. And it's basically a roundabout because dotted around the roundabout are loads of shops. And we have gone there a few times. We'll go this year, I don't know, but they've got a Ben & Jerry's place. So I bought some Ben & Jerry's merchandise because it had to be done. And then you have all the ice creams. And then what they did there, would you like to try one bit? Would you like to try that? Would you like to try that? Well, okay, I'll try all these first. And I'm a bit full now. I don't think I'm going to have any ice creams now. But we might go back there. But then also in back in Bradenton, there's the Ellerton Mall, the Ellerton Outlet Mall. So we did go there in 2012. We didn't do it last time, but 2012 we did it. So that's back on now. We must go back there. They have a Lindt shop, as in the chocolate. There is a Lindt chocolate shop in Bluewater in Kent, if anyone's in this area. If you want something a bit different, it's a pick and mix of Lindt balls, But there's one. It's a similar thing to that in Florida. And my wife did that last time because she loves that Lindt chocolate, so she was picking up all these different ones. Although, word to the wise, if you do buy it, think about how you're going to get it home, because I can't remember if it was in the suitcase or hand luggage, but once you come at home, all of the Lindt balls was in one big melted ball. They all kind of melted together somehow, I don't know how. But we want to go back there, because in there, and again I think it's still there, so check out their website if you are interested in what shops are there. They have got a Hershey's ice cream parlour, and I had what did I have there? I think it was called a Superman ice cream. Don't ask me what flavour it was, but it made my mouth, my tongue turn blue. It was beautiful. I do love my ice cream, so that's definitely on the list again. So it's like, yeah, so I'm going to be videoing places this year that you might not be aware of, but you might think, well, that's cool, and then you might open your eyes to when you go to Florida, there is more to Florida than Disney. Now, we would never not do Florida, not do Disney. That's not on the cards. We would always do Disney. But there are other things in Florida to do that are quite good, So tune into those vlogs when they appear a bit later in the year. Well, that's it for today. There will be some more Ask Me a Questions coming up, so do keep an eye out for those. If you still want to ask me a question, say just put a little question at the bottom of the comments box here, and do check out the description for the people who have contributed towards this little particular vlog, and check out their channels. So we'll see you soon.